Hi, my name's Phil. I'd like to talk about politics. So, what does the Daily Mail think of the European Convention on Human Rights and, of course, the European Court of Human Rights that decides on such matters? Well, read any of its articles on the subject, any of them. And it pushes the views of those who are arguing for us to leave the convention and not be bound by the court with almost no counterfactuals at all. So the Daily Mail is opposed to the ECHR then. Oh, except when it suits them, of course. Because the Daily Mail, owned by a billionaire who doesn't live or pay tax in the UK and itself based offshore to dodge UK taxes, has just won a court case. And which court did they present their case to? The European Court of Human Rights. But first, for daily political commentary, please click the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Now, actually, I'm going to have to start off. I say the Daily Mail owner doesn't live or pay taxes in the UK. That's only half true. I mustn't do what I'm about to accuse the Daily Mail of doing. Rothermere does actually live in the UK. As far as I can tell, it's just that he claims non-dom status, as I understand it, in order to dodge the taxes. So he pretends to live in France in order to screw the public out of state-funded services. Lovely chap. But anyway, want a fun little game. So type Daily Mail ECHR into a Google search in the News tab and see the results. You basically get two types of results. You get the results which are reporting on this Daily Mail victory at the Strasbourg courts, and you get Daily Mail articles talking about the ECHR. But if you did a Venn diagram of the results, well, you would have zero crossover, because absolutely every outlet in the country seems to be reporting on how the Daily Mail, in a breathtaking act of hypocrisy, have used the very courts it says shouldn't exist, at least as far as Britain goes. But the Daily Mail itself doesn't seem to have dedicated any time to reporting on themselves. And you think, well, why not? I mean, newspapers do talk about their own internal issues. Like the front page of the Daily Telegraph has today as its main story, whining about one of its more degenerate writers, Alison Pearson, being visited by the police over hate speech. Oh, proper whining about it. That's their main thing for the front page. Woe is us, we had a visit from the police. Oh dear. So the gutter press have got no problems airing their own dirty laundry, talking about themselves. So why miss this one out for the Daily Mail? Is it because they might fear that even their own readers could smell a rat the next time they try to argue we should abandon our human rights, in the pretense that the only consequence would be allowing some foreigners to be tortured or executed? And you know what's particularly hilarious? The reason the Daily Mail owners went to court in the first place was to argue against having to pay what they call success fees to lawyers who successfully sued them on someone else's behalf. Now, fair enough, the court agreed that they shouldn't have to pay these fees, that it was indeed something that could dissuade freedom of expression. Fair enough. But the only reason the Daily Mail had a grievance at all is because they regularly defame people. That is, they keep deliberately or recklessly publishing damaging statements about people which are either untrue or lead readers to draw misleading conclusions about someone or an organisation. After all, if they didn't, they couldn't be successfully sued. And when you consider that for it to be worth them taking this issue to court, they must be having a lot of this. This must be, racking up to millions, right? So that just tells you how many people successfully sue them for defamation. And consider, most people can't afford to sue the Daily Mail for defamation. How many people are they defaming who have no recourse to justice because, unlike a criminal act, if it's a case of a breach of civil law, if you want justice, you have to pay for it, and you have to be able to afford to pay for it. If they were reporting factually, objectively, in the public interest, they would never lose a court case. They might lose the odd one. Anyone can make mistakes. A genuine mistake could happen. Sure, okay. But it wouldn't be very much. They certainly wouldn't lose so many that it was worth their while hauling themselves to France to argue against the extra costs. Actually, I say hauling themselves to France. I mean, that's where there's a sticking point, because If the owner keeps claiming he lives in France for tax purposes, I suppose it's in the same place. But, you know, they've actually gone to court to argue that it shouldn't cost them so much every time they maliciously try to ruin someone's life. I mean, consider that for a moment. The Daily Mail, which argues that the rest of us shouldn't have access to the European Court of Human Rights. They explicitly state that. We should not have access to the European Court of Human Rights. They have no qualms about using it themselves, you know, so that it's not as expensive for them when they, ironically, breach someone else's human rights. You know, mislead the public into thinking innocent people or groups have done wrong. No wonder they didn't want to report on this themselves. Like, how on earth do you spin that as a positive? But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can join for memberships. Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'll see you later.